Hello everyone, my name is SimValera and welcome to our snowy city here in Cities Skylines. Last time we built this beautiful university or rather campus, the whole area in our old town district, so it has this European look and European looking buildings, and this time we're gonna concentrate on our downtown area. So we go here in our city center, and I don't know if you can call it center, but that's where the central business district is. Lots of commercial buildings, lots of offices, and yeah. But anyway, first things first, I'll put these two buildings that gonna look exactly the same. This way we create this interesting symmetry and this symmetric look right next to the Flatiron building, right next to the roundabout. And you see the Flatiron building was built in the very beginning already. It fits perfectly here because we have this sharp angle, rather sharp. But anyway, and here we have this empty spots that I didn't want to just leave the grass or emptiness or snow in our case just there, with these empty spots, so we're gonna fill it all with pavement. Yep. And also some paths which also can help us create these nice shapes, because it's not always easy to we use these concrete pieces. So you have these circles, because I use the mod, the link to which is going to be in the description. I'm not sure about the name, but anyway, so I can put this concrete or dirt or whatever wherever, yes, whatever and wherever. And yeah, because I feel like it's always nice to have more concrete and pavement around the skyscrapers or these tall buildings, just so they don't stand on the grass. Yeah. And we did it on the left side, and then we're gonna have to move to the right side, to the right building. It's like the twin towers, but rather shorter. Yeah. And they have this look which kind of matches the Flatiron building, so I felt like they fit very nicely here, and I felt like they're appropriate to stand in this area. It's like the entrance for our central business district, maybe center, I don't know. But anyway, this time we're gonna go really fast in terms of the time lapse, because I can't say I did a lot of things. Well, a lot of things happened, but I was rather slow. So yeah, we will also get trams. That's exciting, kind of. I mean, it's the third episode, but oh well, better late than never. Yeah, we will get trams. We will create nice tram lines that are gonna function efficiently. Maybe not really for now, because we don't really have a lot of buildings, and yeah, but yes, we're gonna get trams and we're gonna get a nice waterfront for this stadium. Looks like a baseball stadium or something, but it's not. It's for, I don't know, either skiing to watch some winter sports events, something for winter sports, maybe for skiing, maybe for snowboarding. I believe it's called I believe it's not for snowboarding, but I don't know, it's rather weird. They got this construction inside. But anyway, a new update came out also, that is also exciting. And new update 1.4 something, and we got some canals, we got some seawalls, some rocks, and new categories in our UI, and some new menus, and that's exciting. And we're gonna use some seawalls as well as so these sunken walls that we already had, that I already used. You see these sunken walls, these waterfront walls that I already put. I use them quite often, and I use them in my previous video. It was the latest episode for City Skylines Let's Design, episode 23. Make sure to check it out, the link is in the description. And that episode kind of inspired this episode. So the theme is kind of the same. So we are creating the nice waterfront with the help of beautiful seawalls. Yeah, but this time we're not gonna only use the seawalls that we get from the Steam Workshop, because you see these pieces I got from the workshop, but we can also use the seawalls that are provided by a game now. Our game, City Skylines. And because also the latest patch inspired this episode, so it all makes sense for you, I hope. But anyway, so we got the stadium, and it's always a choice. You can either put a stadium and just leave it there, just like with any building. You can put it there, beautiful building, oh well, cool, and leave it there, or you can continue this beautifulness and you can create something more. You can create like a beautiful park around it or something. But yeah, a rather tall building, but not a skyscraper, I got with this beautiful blue glass, and I put it there because this way we can have sun like most of the time, and the sun is like reflects on these windows, and not reflects, but also it the building is lighted up, I believe. It's like we can see it all the time under the sunlight. Yeah, but anyway, for the backyard of the stadium, you see at the back, the stadium has like this garage doors or something, like the entrances for some services or something. So it's not really pretty. And another skyscraper on the left and on the right is like, again, we keep this symmetric look, but not really, but kind of. So, and the stadium is kind of in the center. So you see, you get this feeling like symmetric, but not really. So, yeah, anyway, that's how my design works. And so at the back of the stadium, it's like not really pretty, but I wasn't sure how to use it, so we just put the two fountains that look nice, I think, and there are like a couple of trees, and yeah, again symmetric look. Too much symmetry maybe, because we also got two billboards on the left and on the right, two fountains on the left and the right, and then two like of these I don't know how to call them, the displays maybe. You see on the right there is like this, I don't know, but anyway, we create some nice shapes with the help of pedestrian paths tool, and it kind of like matches the shape of the stadium, because you see it's rounded, and so we make rounded paths as well. And we don't want to fill everything with buildings or some constructions, so here we will have like a small park, just to have this little recreational area, I don't know. So bushes on the left and the right, on the left and the right, surround our paths, three on each side, and then we will have a tall tree, I believe. Yeah, for a long time I couldn't find a bush that I hoped I could find. Like, there is like this big bush, rather big, so I couldn't find it, but I don't know why. Anyway, and so we put small bushes surrounding it, and then surrounding the paths, and we put tall trees just to have this kind of like a contrast, but yeah, not really, but kind of. But anyway, here let's move on to the exciting part about the latest patch, latest update for the game. So we got canals, which I'm not gonna use in this episode, but I will show you them later, because I'm still not sure how to make them look pretty, because I'm still not sure that they are really good. But what I am sure is good is the seawalls. The seawalls are effing amazing. Yes. So this it will take me some time to use it. No, okay, yeah, okay. So you see, you get the seawalls. You get like the at the waterfront. Oh, by the way, I'm using the they're called like keys, not like keys for the doors, but for waterfront, like key, I don't know. And so I use the mod that allows to put them anywhere. Yeah, key, and a key, I don't know. Put that in the description also, the mod to that. But anyway, so you use these seawalls at like at your shore or at your coastline or somewhere that has like a cliff. Yeah, at a cliff, rather a cliff. And it levels the ground and it makes it flat, and it is really, really useful, and it is super easy to use. So we don't have to put the roads and then put these pieces of sunken walls. We can just draw a line with this seawalls tool, and we can have these beautiful water constructions. Not only water constructions, but like for our cliffs, just to make them more beautiful. Or if we work in such area like we are right now, like in our downtown or somewhere in some urban area, you want to have some like concrete walls or something, just not to leave the dirt and grass there. It's not really how they do real life people. So yeah, I felt like it is super sufficient, and it was a surprise for me, because I believe this update came out of the blue. It was out of the blue. So I didn't hear any of the news. Maybe I wasn't paying much attention. But anyway, we got another skyscraper. Look, right next to the already existing one, or ones, whatever you can count as a skyscraper. And we don't have much here. Maybe we need more. I don't know. Yeah. But you see, I kind of try to put them in groups. But I don't know if I should do that. But that's just how I do. Try to put the skyscrapers in groups just to create a nice skyline. That's what the game is called, after all. But anyway, in front of this new skyscraper, this new white skyscraper right there, hope you understand what skyscraper I'm talking about. I was thinking, what should I put? And so I put a park that I already used in the city, but it's a really nice, beautiful park, so I can do whatever I want, and you can do whatever you want. We all can do whatever you want. Just be happy. So anyway, again, talking about my desire to not leave grass and dirt in places where it's not appropriate. Between this skyscraper that is on the left, with this blue glass, between this skyscraper and our newly made seawalls, there is like this empty space. Snow. I believe there's grass, but right now snow. Oh, like always. I mean, we will have this snow permanently here. Anyway, this empty place, empty spots. And that's not how we do it here in our Let's Plays. So we gotta fill it all with concrete. But it was a little bit tricky because there is not enough space to put. You see, I use these circles. Again, if you're interested, check out the mod in the description so you can use these pieces as well. But there was not enough space to put two of these circles right next to each other, and one wasn't enough. So it took me some time. That's what I'm trying to say. It took me some time. That's what I'm trying to say. But I found a solution, and the solution is to put pedestrian paths right next to the seawalls, because apparently you can't put buildings, or in this case these circles of concrete, right next to the seawalls, but for some weird reason you can put seawalls. And I mean like not just right next to the seawalls. These pedestrian paths that I put, they overlap, or rather go under, but still, the seawalls. So what the in the existence? Why? But it worked, so good job, good job. And we can fill the rest of the area with concrete, and that's what we need. But anyway, we don't want to have too many skyscrapers or just small buildings, so we have all the stuff that we can have. Just like with trees, we had like bush trees and then tall trees. For the sake of the variety. This skyscraper I got, you see, I wanted to put concrete around it, but I wanted to put I sound so Indian. Anyway, I wanted to put concrete around it, but the lot itself, it has like grass or empty space around the skyscraper, so I can't. So because of that, that skyscraper is not gonna stay there. I'm gonna get rid of it. Actually, put it in another place, but much later. And here we got like an avenue with trees. So at the end of the avenue, the idea was to put at the end of the avenue like this park with a nice statue or something, or like a, it's not like a statue, but I don't know how to call it, but like a construction or art thing. Yeah, because the idea was that we gotta have lots and lots of tall buildings, maybe even skyscrapers, right next to the waterfront. So at the coast we have these tall buildings, but I didn't want to only have these buildings. I wanted to break the system a little bit. So by breaking the system, I mean that we also gonna have like some parks or something at the coast, right next to the seawalls at our waterfront, just to break the the system and to have different stuff. Yeah, so we're gonna have tall buildings right next to the sea anyway, and that's the skyscraper I was talking about. Now we have it here. Yeah, still I'm not happy that I can't put concrete around it, but yeah, but anyway, concrete pavement, whatever, not sure. Lots and lots of demand for industry. Jesus, I was just and a little bit for commercial. No demand for residential whatsoever. A little bit frustrating, but that's why we are in our central business district or in our downtown now, because we have this demand. But anyway, expanded this huge, fat pedestrian path from this park that we got, that is right next to the new rather gray skyscraper. Yeah, I need to use more simple sentences. Anyway, and here we're gonna have offices which are not gonna be tall, just because, you see, I can't help myself. That's what I do. I have really tall buildings and really small buildings right next to each other, or rather in groups. Yeah, but we've also got like this opera house or exhibition center, I don't know, and some other buildings like a stadium or buildings of different types. Yeah, that's what I love having. Yeah. Then I was trying to put the I don't know, supermarket, but it didn't really fit well, so I put this mall shopping center here. Yeah, I think it fits better because I wanted to have a big building here, right next to this skyscraper in the center, this white skyscraper that stands right in front of the stadium. Yeah, but I mean, I just love how everything looks. I hope you love it too. Yeah, it's so detailed and everything. But anyway, talking about trams. Yeah, I told you we're gonna have some, and guess what? We gotta work on that now. I was a little bit confused at first because when I was creating these tram lines, they told me that when I was creating not lines but the roads with the tram, I don't know the word, the roads for trams, when I was building them, they told me that you have to have circles. So when you will create a line, it has to be a circle. That's a lie. That was a bold face bull. So that was a lie. So at first I was confused, and I created these roads for trams all over the city, because you see, our city is not our town is not that big yet, but I created these roads for trams anyway. But then I discovered that I don't have to create circles, like the tram lines that are circles. So we're gonna have a line, just a line, but it's gonna be one line. You'll see what I mean, what I'm creating. Because again, our city is not that big, so if I would create this tram line that goes all over the city, like you see, I have the roads for trams, like in some parts where there are no buildings, which have no buildings. So like, why on earth would I put stops for trams there? It's just not sufficient and stupid. Yeah, but still, our city is not that big yet. It's rather big comparatively, but not that big. So in some parts, maybe it's not the stops maybe won't work at their most efficient level, but still, let's just take a look. This is the first time I tried them. You see the first look from the trams. Yeah, it was a little bit blurry or something. So anyway, let's just follow some of the trams, because I mean, it's really exciting. This is the first time I was using trams in my city, and it just goes all over the place, like from the residential area to our old town district, to our downtown, to our central business district, and yeah, goes all over the place. Got some problems with traffic here. I don't know why. And the trams, they wait while they are on a roundabout. That's not how roundabouts work. So I was a little bit frustrated by that, because yeah. And I mean, again, in this game, roundabouts are not really roundabouts. Like, they got these crosswalks, and some of them have traffic lights. So if you don't have the mod that allows you to turn off the traffic lights, then you're in trouble. But anyway, a beautiful cinema here, right next to this fat pedestrian path that goes from the park that stands in front of the grey skyscraper that was built right anyway. that. But city gets more beautiful and more beautiful and more beautiful, I believe. Just because the buildings grow and we get all these details here. Yeah, I love it. I love it. But a lot of people already use our trams. The capacity for one tram is 90 people, and I mean, at the first go, it was just filled. And yeah, so that's good news, right? That people use it, so there was a demand for that, and there is a demand for that. And thank goodness, yay. But anyway, we've created our urban frontier. That's how I called this episode. Not sure if it's a good name, but anyway, on the left side of the stadium. So let's go to the right side. Yay. And we're also gonna use seawalls, and yeah, just to continue this little story we got. Again, rather symmetric, but the buildings are gonna be all different, so not really. And yeah, we're gonna build like commercial offices again. Yeah, no place for residential in our downtown. Yeah, but because that's the thing about downtowns, makes sense. And it took me some time because you see, it's a little bit tricky to put these seawalls, especially when you want to put them beautifully. I mean, if you just, I can put them whenever I want. I can put them just at these cliffs, like right next to like at the seashore, but they're not gonna be beautiful. They're not gonna be straight, or they're not gonna be. It's not gonna be like a straight line, and they're not gonna be like flat or like at the same level, because they can go like on the hills. I've seen like, yeah. So we want them all to be flat and straight and look perfect. So that's what we got. And again, I used the same technique. Put this pedestrian path extremely close to the seawall, actually overlapping the seawall, and so this way we got some pavement right next to it, which makes sense. But I mean, you don't have to. Of course, we don't have to. But in our urban area, I want to have pavement right next to the seawalls. Yeah. And I use the building eyedropper tool. It's a mod, again in the description. And the so this way I can copy the buildings, some residential offices or commercial buildings, and place them wherever I want. Yay. And I got another skyscraper. This way our skyline got even more beautiful. And it matches the other buildings, what I love the most. Surprisingly, we got all these buildings that match each other, because quite often I get a bunch of new buildings on workshop and they look very different, and yeah, but this, I don't know how, but I was able to have this kind of like same looking, but yeah, in the same theme looking buildings. Yeah, so that's great. And that's what I was talking about, breaking the system. So we got a park right next to the seawall, right next to the waterfront, and I put like a pine tree there. Yeah, so we got like different buildings right next to our waterfront. But that is it for this episode. We got a really beautiful urban frontier, I believe. We got like a stadium and we surround it with seawalls. So I hope you like it, and if you do, please give this video a like. Stay tuned for the next episode, and goodbye.